Hello and welcome. Yeah, here today we are back with Diablo 4. That seems a little strange, but supposedly this patch they added a supposedly a roguelite mode. And I've spent my day working on this, and we're gonna start in here. I'm already up to my world tier 4, up to the last stretch of the leveling. So they did add, I have tested it, they did add a mode that you could describe as somewhat roguelite-ish. I would say it's more like they lifted the mechanics from a lot of roguelites, which would be the map sort of mechanics of branching choices in your dungeons. So we're actually going to do one of those dungeons so you can see what it's like. And I have to correct myself, it's not actually a dungeon either. So, during this season, you will get these infernal hordes compasses. I am not doing that one. I am not ready for old level 100 on these yet. So you can get these from doing Helltides and a bunch of other things, and they're actually pretty cool. And it tells you what's going on. More legendary items are going to drop from the inner rewards, more crafting materials from this one. This is pretty good. And we're going to go take care of this. Now, this basically becomes similar to Nightmare Dungeons in that you can just use that in town, open your map, and you can just travel there. It's always in the same location, though. So if you wanted to physically travel there, there's a door. I can even show you real quick the nearest teleporter. Once you get it open, you have to go through a whole quest line. There's a couple of cool seasonal dungeons that we may actually do a second episode just to show those. It teleported me directly inside. Cool. I was wondering if that was what I was going to do. So, oh, God. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Please forgive the build. The build is not a good build. I have this, I got a bunch of items for, this is your mode, by the way. It is a horde mode, and you'll have decisions in between each set of waves. We have, I got some really goofy, we should have, like, ridiculous, absolute ridiculous. Oh no, get moving. Okay, let's go over here. What I have is I got a really good early thorns item that had a lot of thorns, and for some reason our tempering was still there from last season. And while I didn't unlock a huge amount of tempering, I had by chance, and very luckily for me, oh yeah, I've died in here a couple times. They are level 75, and I'm only 66 at the moment, so it'll get easier for me to do these later as I go on. Right now, plus with this build's not like, this build is great at murdering hordes because it's all thorns damage, but the problem is that it's awful at bosses. I mean, awful. So for this activity, it's almost one of the best things I could do, because I can just drop hordes like crazy. But man, boss fights take 3.5 years. It's awful. All right, so here, once you've gotten your past your wave, you get to this, and you get a bane and a boon. So you're either going to get more ether, which is this up here, and that's what you use to pay for your currency. You're going to get ether each time. So we could get hellfire, which is just awful. Empowering nearby foes will probably do this. This one kind of hurts sometimes. Like, it got me killed a couple times, but that's okay. We'll do it anyway. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Armor potion. Also gives more thorns. This build is based off thorns and me pushing thorns to just a goofy amount. So like every time they hit me, they get hit for 10,000 points of damage, and occasionally that spreads to everyone in the area. This is a terrible build. Don't do this. It's so bad when you get to a boss fight. You'll see. It's awful. I need to get that lightning resist up. So I gotta unsocket some gems and do some other stuff. I actually need to find a functional build before I do too much more. I also don't have all my paragons spent from the last time. So, you know. I'm a very organized person. All right, Hellborn are hunting us. That's not the worst. We could try that. I've never seen that. It could be fun. Hellborn grant me 1 ether. Oh, so maybe it'll be like an extra boss. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. So yeah, we have a little bit of stuff to make it so our single target damage isn't completely awful. It's just mostly awful. and that is that we have a couple of imprints. We have a couple of the temperings from last season, since, like I said, by the time you get to this, you're going to have these open, so it's not like having them in the beginning right now. Which, by the way, if you did play a bunch last time, all your tempers are open. It's crazy. You can like build a character that does like there's an elemental attunement, and I'll show you what it is with my thing, and you just cruise through everything. I beat the tier 4 capstone at level 51. It should not have carried me, but I got really lucky with a few drops and just ended up with an absurd amount of thorns and defense packed into the same thing. And like the whole setup is made for Berserk. Basically, I was doing a Berserk build and it got converted into... No, sir, stop rezzing those people. I was doing a Berserk build and it kind of got converted into a hybrid... Berserk hybrid thorns. I'll show you real quick. So basically what you want to do, and I need to do that on the helmet, I forgot to. In my case, I do thorns on here, but you're going to do like, if you want to just level super fast, you're going to put you're going to temper hit points onto here. You're going to temper hit points onto here. You're going to temper hit points, I think, onto here. You can't temper that as a unique though. And then you're going to put basically... There you go. If you see that, there's a elemental attunement thing, up to a 40% chance for it to do 3,600 fire damage. And this build that I'm doing doesn't kill things very fast because that's not a lot of damage when you're at level 70. When you're fighting level 70 things. But it works really well with this particular build because we also have the Vampiric Curse and a couple other things going our way, and we're really only relying on it. We have tons of berserking stuff. Most of the stuff here is just berserking. So you end up with like, we just want some more resists on these. But I got lucky and I got this bonkers chest piece that get maxed out my armor. I'm way over armor. That's how much armor I have. Soul Spires drain health. That's not terrible. Normal monster damage plus 25%. Gathering increases movement speed for 8 seconds. Or spawns ether events. Drains health is not... Well, you know what? It's not that. It's not that bad for us because we have a ton of light. Basically, between having a bunch of life and a bunch of thorns, I was able to just kind of crawl my way through. And this, like you can see here, like when you're doing mobbing and you're just killing the little guys, this build's great. Don't do this build unless, and I would say this, if you have somebody you play with on a regular basis and they like to play like high DPS classes like Sorcerer and stuff, play this. You could literally like you could face tank everything. And they can help you kill bosses. The speed with which I can kill these waves is bonkers. The speed with which I can kill a boss is awful. And I am not kidding on that one. All right, where are they? Where are they? I know you're out here. I know I can... Oh, we took some damage. Oh, I gotta find all these fallen fanatics and get rid of them so they stop bringing these guys back to life. Oh, I'm running away. All right, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I know he's out there. Okay. Let's do that. There's something going on, though. Like, there's some weird quality control thing going on. Because every once in a while, I will do one of my shouts, and everything in the immediate area for me just explodes and dies. I don't know why it's happening. It's fine, but I don't know why it's happening. 25% damage from the Hellborn. That might be a little steep for us. Ether Lords now spawn. That's not terrible. We are increasing our big guys by a little much, and this is, as I've mentioned, not the greatest for that one, but we can probably handle that. Let's go ahead and keep working our way up here. Oh, there we go. We got a little 10% more damage. All right, now, let's go here. Ow. This is actually pretty fun. Again, it's a horde mode in Diablo, so, and the keys and everything for it are all got from, oh, are we almost at the Fell Council? Oh. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. For a brief moment, we were in dangers. I do like the mode. I think that it's... I think the way they structure their season pass so that you kind of do an all of the activities kind of helps out a lot, because otherwise most of the activities in the game can feel a little, you know, a little bit simplistic, a little bit repetitive sometimes. Like sometimes I don't want to sit there and do Helltides all day. Oh, we're on the Ether Lords. Okay. We're just going to have to kill you. Okay. I mean, I really need you to die, sir. See what I mean about the boss kills? It's just like, okay. If you can spawn a bunch of little dudes to hit me, I can kill you now. I actually have that. I have a Warcry thing that makes my Warcry do. That gives me 124% damage as long as Warcry is active, and Warcry has the longest. I can buff it, and that's when I can kind of do a little bit extra. But yeah, it's this build is awful at killing anything, at killing bosses. That one will probably do empowers foes, although this pull-in is not great. I'm not doing Hellfire. Hellfire, I've done Hellfire, and it's just, I always like get doinked in the head and completely miss it. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Hopefully we haven't empowered them too much. Oh yeah. Come on, boys. This way. I want to fight you here. Oh, they're taking their time to spawn this wave. Hey, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, the bosses are just, like, unless, if the boss has a lot of minions, then we're okay. Because every time the minion hits me, there's a 25% chance that the boss is going to take the thorns damage too. We may have been a little too all in on thorns. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's chunk this guy down while we have both those buffs up, because we can actually, if we combine Wrath of the Berserker and we combine the buff from Warcry. Oh no! Whatever he's doing, it's very alarming. Oh no, we gotta kill all these guys, otherwise we'll be here all day. Fallen Shaman, go away! Nobody likes you. Oh, there he goes. All right, there we go. Yeah. Like I said, I can live, but man, killing the bosses is just an absolute act of. There we go. XP boost. Oh, it didn't. Maybe it didn't XP. Oh, it probably can't XP boost because I'm in here. Ether Lord masses spawn on Ether Lord on death. Elite damage 25%. I don't know if I want to do that. +1 Hellborn when spawned. I mean. Sure. That sounds painful. All right. All right, boys, come on. I did actually keep upheaval, and in the very beginning I actually had like some upheaval stuff, but I kind of ended up turning over into Berserk, because I just kept getting really good like max rolled engravings for Berserk. All right, boys, you guys gotta. There we go. For some reason, it derps out occasionally, and I just can't do anything. I think their servers aren't great. So, one of the things, though, I did do, and since if you do anything like what I'm doing here, make sure that you turn polearm spec to be your mastery one, because the extra lucky hit is going to keep those other things hitting more, and oh my god, do you need all the damage help you can get. I can live through anything. Real hard to kill anything, though. Alright, let's kill those things. Don't have enough fury. How do you not have enough fury? You're made of fury. Yeah. That just takes so much. We just do not do the types of damage that we need to do. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, oh, we're gonna get some nice loot out of this, too. Yeah, we'll be able to get some decent loot. Hopefully. As long as I don't like. Oh, hey, that's it. We did it. We did it. All right. Oh. 14 minutes. A lot of it was me talking over menus. All right, now we got to fight. The final thing is you get these dudes. This is where this build does not shine. Now, as you can see, for survivability, we're fine. But the problem is that's all I got is survivability. Because if these guys don't hit, the guys on the outside, you can see them taking those tiny ticks. Those are just like every time they wing me, but they're not close enough to get hit by the AoE ticks of that, so they still don't, like, unless they're right next to each other, but they can't kill me. Like, this is one of those fights where I'm like, okay, I just have to let them hit me so that the thorns goes off as much as possible. Okay, let's try this. Okay, all three. Ah, look how slow that life bar goes down. It's so slow. It's almost comical. When I went through the tier 4 dungeon, it looked basically like this. Oh, I don't have any cooldowns because I used them all to try and burn him down in the loosest sense of the word. Now we gotta go fight. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Ah, I did. Oh, that worked. Okay. So we do have this one thing that I was like, what is that? And it was this vampiric curse thing. So as we kill stuff, we get these vampiric curses stacked on him. And when there's enough, we get a little charge of it. And then when I cast a defensive spell, those things come out and cause him to hurt a little bit more. I have to remember I have those because those actually do help my damage a little bit. Oh, where are you going this time? Yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah. I can clear the waves fast. Like, if you have a partner to clear these bosses, like I would guess, like, probably a rogue or a wizard. Something really good, high tier single target damage. Oh, yeah, you could probably just cruise through this as a duo. Like, just crazy good. One person, like, if you get a person set up like this, that you can just mob down everything. And then have the other person just really high. Oh, by the way, this is the cool part. So we have our choice of chests, but they also give you a stash chest. That way, if you wanted to pick up some stuff, and you could just come in here and use your. So we have equipment, we have materials, and then we have gold. And we're gonna go with a couple of materials because I could use these because I need to make like 1,000,000 potions. So we're going to do like 2 or 3 of those. Oh, we got a scroll. That'll allow us to upgrade some stuff, some of these little thingies. So the mode itself is pretty good, I think. It's actually pretty fun, and I think, again, I think that their entire... Let's get at least one of these things. Sorry. That's one thing I wanted to say. Like, I have actually noticed a lot of the stuff dropped out of here has been really nice, like uniques and stuff like that, and really decent power levels too. 852 and some really high stuff. When I'm only like level 68, that's pretty. I think that's pretty good. Well, above 48 fury. Oh, I got 45 fury. Huh. Although it is an 817. See, that's the one that I need to upgrade right there. I need to upgrade that one. I need to find a new one of this so that my thorns damage has a 40% chance to spread. Let's go grab cash, and then we will teleport back to town. Past that, what you get while you're doing this and while you're doing the other stuff is you get what's called Mother's Gifts, and that represents a separate track from the... It's not part of the season pass, but it's going on as sort of a sub-track underneath of the season. So I don't have that here, so let me go to the place so I can show you that real quick. And you see what you earned and the kind of stuff that you get out of it. And there is one thing I did note is that if you get like, when you get like, and I'll show you these things when we're over here, you'll get packages and stuff, and those packages are at a predetermined level already, so you just want to crack them open as soon as you get them. Like, there's the temptation to always like save and see if it's going to be like, oh my god, I need to save this and make sure. That way I open it and get good stuff later. So when you go see this lady, and after you've done all the quests, there's a couple quests to go to do this. When you see these people, they have these chests, and this is a separate XP track. These are the Mother's Gift rewards. As you can see, just getting up to here, I'm already about halfway through. So there's quite a bit of stuff left to do because this price does go up over time, but it's really kind of nice. Oh, really? Ancestral Mythic Unique. Legendary 925 items. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Ooh, let's spend our point here. Oh, what do we got? Berserk Duration. I don't need Berserk Duration because I actually have that covered as weird as it might sound. All right. A little piece of me tempted to do one more just to see. Do we have another low one? It'd be like a 30-minute video if I did that. I don't think I could take the 100s. I don't think I could, but what we will do instead, real quick, is we'll take a look. Just in case you were wondering if, like, in the season, I have a bad habit of making fun of Blizzard about their free season items being kind of boring. This season, I take it back. These are like they actually look pretty good. They look like they really put some work into them on the free track too. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to end up getting all the way through this season pass, but, oh, that's kind of cool looking. But I did want to point out that, you know, the free track seems to be getting some pretty decent looking gear in this one. I had kind of complained in previous seasons that that the gear for the free track was kind of boring. And then you'd look over here and you'd get this like really cool sword in the premium track. And I understand why they would do it, but I also find, you know, it's kind of a bummer. But yeah, it's been actually pretty fun. I like that mode. You can actually get these from doing all of the other activities, and that's kind of an important thing, is that each of these things sort of feeds you into a cycle where you're going through and you're doing nightmare dungeons, and then you're going to go through and you're going to do some Helltides, and then you're going to go through, while you're doing that, you're going to be filling up your Tree of Whispers just naturally while you're doing these other things and getting these reward caches from there. The loot, if you weren't back last season, is insanely better than it used to be. Absolutely great. The way they do the system for the inscriptions being a catalog system where you just keep getting the highest inscription you have and you're able to imprint that back onto other things. Very good. That was from last season. But yeah, this has been really fun. There's also some cool little dungeons. You know what? We'll do that. I know it's going to be about a 30-minute video at that point, and I'm going to apologize for going a little longer, but I did want to kind of show you this because I kind of thought this was cool. These I was able to do before I hit tier 4 and finished off that mission. Now I think you can at tier 3 open up the mission that we just did where you've got the little sigils, because they talked about that being a tier 4 thing. So I'm sure that one is. Sorry about that. Let me just trying to figure out where I'm going next here. Okay, looks like we are going up for this one. Cold resist? I don't need the armor either. Okay, so for the moment, we're going to go down here, and we're going to put it right here. 8% extra damage release. That might actually... Oh, did I have more than one? Whoops. Oh, hey, you know what? There, we'll start working our way over to this. Oh, extra on our potion. Yeah. Heck yeah. My builds are never like super good. I'm you know, like I play so many different games. My builds are always just kind of what's working for me at the time. So we'll go look at this real quick. We'll go do this dungeon real quick and I'll show you. And like I said, I was able to do these at World Tier 1. And they were a nice side from doing, because you're early on, you're going to tend to do a lot of Helltides because they get you a ton of Helltide experience and Helltide caches, and they also get you stuff for your Tree of Whispers. Oops. I always forgot. I forgot where the stairs were. All right. So then the other thing there's really nothing else to do unless you're jumping in a dungeon or doing a little monster closet. So this, I think, is kind of cool because as you do the quest line for the season, you'll unlock these, and I was able to do these in the very first at world tier, this dungeon. And this is like a little mini version of the dungeon itself, which is kind of cool. So when you're leveling right now, it's at higher levels because it's scaled up to the world tier 4. But like I said, I was able to get in here at world tier 1. I think I was level 10 or 15. So what you do is you go and you click on these little things that say taunt hell, and it spawns a bunch of dudes that come out, and you got to stand here by these soul spires. And basically, it's a little mini introduction to the mechanics you're going to see later with the soul spires and stuff. Although, I haven't seen any of the hands that way. Oh, no. There is a weird bug that I've noticed in this entranceway of these. Sometimes you'll get just an infinite spawn of like fallen... Every time you finish the fallen off, it'll like spawn in a fallen shaman, and it just sits there and just constantly revives everybody behind you. It took me like 2 times before I realized. I was sitting there like, why is this fight going on forever? This is supposed to be a fairly fast thing. There we go. There's our hand. Ooh, we got 3 hands. We will taunt all the things. Yeah. See, like I said, on these, like mobbing, look at how fast these things die. We can do that. It's just great. Bosses, though. Oh, go away. Fallen shaman. That was an interesting growl. Yeah, once we go out of mobbing, though, yeah, even when those blow up on us, we're still fine for the most part. I raised all my resistances this one just to see how well it would work, since I was like face tanking things with this Thorns build anyway. And oh man, the combination. There's some times where I'm like super like, wow, this is so crazy. Like, it's so comfortable, and it was a very comfy leveling process. It was not a quick one. But once I got the thorns up a little bit, it actually did turn into a quick one, because I was able to punch way above my weight. This one item that gave me basically like a certain 1,000 or so thorns per while I was berserking, which I found while I was running a build that I had been building to berserk permanently. Was like, oh, okay, cool. So then I had this tons of thorns, and I'm just cruising through. And, oh man, like I said, I finished the tier 4 capstone at 51. I think I was like 32 when I did the first capstone dungeon. And I was all off, 100% off the strength of thorns. Which was funny, because, oh, that right there too. See that little fiery thing? There was one of the inscriptions you get. Spreads fire each time while you're berserking. Once again, we made the build to always be berserking. So since we're always berserking, it's very, very difficult for us to not have that fire going off around us. And that's doing, like, at this point, it's actually, I really need to replace it. I'm just waiting for another one to drop. Right now, I think it does about 1,000 points per tick, which isn't bad, but it's not great either. We'd like great. Great would be good. So yeah, these are fun though. I had a good time with, like, the quest line was, it was okay. I don't play this game for the quest line. I play this game for the running around making everything explode. So, for me, that works out pretty well. These are fairly short, too, which is why I did want to do it. And like I said, it's going to run into about a 30-minute video with it, but it's actually not that bad because basically what happens here is we're going to go here, Rains Ether, Empowers. We'll go ahead and Empowers. So, when I say it is a mini version, we have ourselves one more floor to do, I believe. Yep. So, it's like one or two floors of it, and yeah. The whole activity ends up being actually kind of nice. These soul spires are pretty interesting. The mechanics are kind of similar to stuff that they've done before, but that's not bad. I mean, I don't know anybody who's playing Diablo for a brand new, fresh experience. Not to be in like that came out much more harsh than I feel like it should be. What I'm saying is you play Diablo because you want to play a Diablo game. So, you know, depending on your Diablo, if you're a Diablo 2 guy, you may not be super thrilled with Diablo 3 or 4. But, you know, you know what you're getting when you play a Diablo game. And that's oftentimes what you're looking for when you're playing a Diablo game. That's a better way to say it. Certainly nothing wrong with it. It's like, well, it used to be like Battlefield games. Like, you knew what you were getting when you walked in the door. They have a terrible problem with influencers and questionable opinions. They have a fan base that seems to actively dislike their own games. COD went through that too a long time ago, right before the Modern Warfare remaster. It was really there were people, like, you just get tons of people that were just making, like, every video they made was nothing but, oh, COD's doomed, COD dead, which of course is not actually going to happen. But yeah, you know, I mean, it is interesting to see how well it snapped back after that, after the whole thing, because usually, like, that kind of stuff, like, you know, toxic, that level of toxicity in the fan base is usually pretty hard to deal with as a company. Like, I know I've talked to some people in the industry that have dealt with it, and it's just like people don't realize, like, you know, yeah, that game made you angry, but, like, that's a person on the other side of that screen, man. You probably shouldn't be saying them things. And, you know, people do what people do. Your instinct when you are mad is, some people's instinct is to lash out and hurt people. So they'll say not nice things. I would like to see them just make their game. I'd like to see them just not worry about don't do the betas, don't do anything like that. Just make your game and then let that thing out there, and then after it comes out. Part of that, I think, actually hurts a lot of games. It's in particular multiplayer games, I think, is the whole habit of, like, everybody knows every game that's coming out. Everybody knows every game that's that's being published or worked on, and everybody feels like they got to know everything. And I think, honestly, I kind of like things better when we didn't know everything. You might have a release date or something like that, and, you know, you'd get there right before the game came out. There'd be a bunch, but for the most part, in the beginning, it wasn't really, you know, you just wouldn't hear anything. It'd be like, you wouldn't. Now it's like, God, how many games has it been? How many games can you think of? I can think of dozens of games where, hey, here we go. Now, see, this is the Hellcaller, and this is where we're gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the easy one because, well, we got 13. Nah, we'll go with them. We'll go with the 7. There's so many games that we've known are in development for years, and part of the problem with that is that you kind of end up with this expectation of what it's going to be before it comes out, and that's not always great. Ah, yeah. Hey, he does low damage but attacks me a lot, which means he dies fast. He's the only kind of boss I can handle well. There's a couple of them, actually. I've been noting which ones they are. Yeah, you can actually get... Oh, what are you doing here, big guy? The Smith's son? Interesting. Never seen him. All right. Oh, he did drop some cool stuff, though. So, yeah, when you come in here, you get a little mini version of the activity, and you can do that. Like I said, as soon as I was able to do the first quest, I was able to do this. So even in World Tier 1. And then you can get some gold. If you need gold, you can spend it on that. And that actually gave me a decent amount of gold. I did it a couple times when I was going up so I could afford tempering. You know, even if you fail this fight, if you always challenge the +7 one, you're going to come out with 13, which will give you 2 equipments and 3 gold, which isn't too bad of a reward. But if you do manage, you can get a lot. Basically, you'll get a lot more gold and a lot more equipment. But you always get rewarded, and the rewards are always... The lowest reward that I found was 13. And at 13, that's actually not too bad. 34 minutes. Almost exactly what I thought it would be. So yeah, you got two different kind of new activities, and they do have a sort of roguelite aspect in the decision banes and boons sense. I've seen roguelites do that, but I wouldn't say it's really a roguelite mode. I would say more of a, oh man, I'm more of a, like, it's just a horde mode. It's just a pretty good horde mode. I would say that's the best way. It's a pretty good horde mode. So thank you all for watching. Hope you come back for the next one. And I forgot to do my intro. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later.